Yo, what's good, guys? Producer Micah here, and today, guys, we're gonna be looking at how we could create, chord progressions to the drum groove we have been working on the previous episode. So, without wasting time, guys, let's go. In the last video, we spoke about 3 different kind of, Afrobeat drum groove, and I'm sure by now, you must have mastered those drum grooves. So, what we're gonna be doing today, we're gonna be picking one of the drum groove, and just creating a vibe, from that drum groove. So let's just go right into our DW and let's start working on this. So make sure that the pattern mode is selected, and we're just gonna hit play. Yeah, and have this nice solid vibe. So before we start creating this vibe, I always do this. I always go to my mixer, and I'm just going to come to my master. I'm gonna talk about the mixer in depth later on, but for now I always come to my master and just put in my soft clipper so that the sound doesn't clip and nothing sounds distorted. I'm just gonna increase my threshold and then go back to my channel rack, and let's play this. Yeah, sounding nice, sounding really nice. And what I always like to do is to split my drums. So I like my kick to be on a different pattern, my snare to be on a different pattern, my conga should also be on a different pattern. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to come to this pattern. Let's just call this, let me just rename this. So to rename it, all I just have to do is right click and come over to rename and color. I'm just going to call this drum. Groove. I'm just going to give it a color, whatever color you like. I'm just going to right click on it and split by channel. So once I split it by channel, it separates all the drums into different patterns. So if you look here now, we have 3 new patterns that have been added. So I'm just going to give it some random colors, because for me, I just like everything to be colorful. It just boosts my creativity. And you can actually just create all your drums on one pattern and use it like that. But for me, I just like to split it up into different, patterns. So we have our kick here now. We have our snare. And we have our conga bass. So I'm going to be working on the playlist now. So I'm going to start arranging, these patterns on the playlist. So, we've used most of the 5 buttons that I told you about, that if you can master these 5 buttons, you are good to go. So we've used the channel rack, we've used the plugin picker. Now we're about to use the playlist, and we touch a little bit on, the mixer, which we're going to talk about in depth more, in this video. So I'm just going to select this and put, my drums on my playlist. So I'm going to put in 4. And most times when working, I like working on the bar mode. So I know how many bars, each section is gonna be. So I have 4 bars for my kick now. So once I hit play now, I make sure that I am on the song mode. So make sure that you've changed it to the song mode so it gets to play on the playlist. So I'm just gonna hit play. Then I can see it's just our kick playing. Then I'm gonna pick the next one, which is our snare, put it underneath, the kick. So together now we have. Then go to my conga bass, pick it and put it, underneath. And we've created a 4-bar loop of that drum now. A 4-bar loop. And let's hit play. And each of these boxes here is called a bar. So that's why I like putting my timing on bar. But once I change it to like half beat now, you can see that it has multiple boxes in between. So most times I just leave it on bar, so I can just easily move things to each bar. Makes it, quite easy like that. Yeah, so we have 4 bars of our drums. So I'm just going to go into creating some melodies. And when creating melodies, there are various options. You can decide to use loops. You could decide to actually just create, the vibe yourself, create the chord progression yourself. And those are basically the 2 ways. Or the 3rd way, you can just get, an instrumentalist, to play on what you've created, on the drum groove you've created. But since this is a beginner tutorial, I won't, just suggest that you start using loop from the scratch. So make sure that, you just have some basic idea on how you can just create chord progressions yourself. So I'm going to be creating the chord progression for this beat from scratch. So, and I'm going to be talking a little bit on how you can also create, your own chord progression in case you don't have any idea on, how to create chord progressions. So I'm going to be using this nice plugin called Sky Keys. So you can get Sky Keys, just go search it and it's going to pop up. So, and to add an instrument, I just have to click on this add button, depending if you've, put that, you've added that plugin as your favorite. In case you've not, you just install the plugin and you don't know where to find it. All you just have to do is come over to your add here and go to refresh plugin. So once you refresh the plugin, it's gonna open this section here. Yep, just close everything. It's gonna open this section here, this plugin database, and you're gonna see it in the installed. So if it's a plugin for mixing, you're gonna see it in the effects. And if it's a plugin like for creating melodies, drums and all, you're gonna see it in the generators. And it's going to create another section called new. And yeah, you can just see it and you can just add it as your favorite. And to add as favorite, let's say let me try to open this. Maybe let's say I've just imported this analog lab 4. I'm just gonna right click on it and you're gonna see add plugin to database, flag as favorite. So once I select this, it adds to my favorite. So whenever I want to add it, I just click on this plus button and it brings up all the the plugins I've added as my favorite. I hope you guys understand that. So I'm gonna go back to this and let's close this up. So I'm not gonna click this because I've already added Sky Keys as a favorite. So I'm just gonna add this in, and this plugin is amazing. It sounds really, really nice. So I urge you guys to just try and get this plugin. So yeah, I'm just gonna create another pattern because for me, I just like creating every new sound on a different pattern. So I'm just gonna create a new pattern, and to do that, just come over here, find first empty. I've talked about this in the previous video. And I'm gonna call these chords, and let's just click on, give it a color, and click on OK. So we have, if you look at it now, we have an empty channel, and the way we're structuring it, whatever channel new pattern we create, we just put it underneath what we've created before. But this is an empty, an empty channel that we need to add like some chord progressions to it, for it to, to have something to give out. So because if I just hit my play now, you can see that it's still just an empty, nothing is playing. So what I can do now is come to this, my Sky Keys, and just right click on it and go to my piano roll. But you can either go to your piano roll by right clicking here, going to piano roll, or you can click here and it takes you to the piano roll, and you have some nice sounding instrument. So we're going to be working on the key of C because dealing with the key of C, we mostly, play on the white keys, and it's easy to, to understand. So we can just create some nice chord by going to, I'm just going to be a quick one on how you can just create a nice chord, but I urge you guys to, go on YouTube and learn, how to create chords. It's really going to help you. So I'm just going to go over here and let's go to stamp, and we have various chords we could pick from. So we have various chords we could pick from, and for me, I just love playing with the the 7th chords. So when you come to the advanced tab here, you can see some major chords, but I'm going to be using the minor 7th, major 7th chord. So I'm just going to select the major 7th here, and on the key of C, I just want to put it on on the 4. So on the key of C, we have the C is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're back to our 1. So when I say I'm putting it on the 4, all you just need to do is count from the C, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are 4, and I'm just gonna hit play now. Nice. So but I feel like it's a bit high, so I can bring it down an octave. And to take it down an octave, all I just need to do is hold Control and the down arrow. It takes it an octave lower. So we have something like this. Nice, sounding nice, right? So I'm still gonna copy the same thing, drag it and just put it on, let's go to the 5. I think I'll take out this. Or let's go to the 3. Let's go to the 3. Okay, so I can just put the note myself. So let's go to the 3. So it's simple, just something simple. So we can just put this. So now we've created a 2-chord progression, and it sounds amazing. Nice, very simple. And what I just do, I just moving from the 4 to the 3, your 4 chord, and your minor 7th 4, your 3 chord. So that's what I just do. This is a major 7th and this is a minor 7th chord progression. So you don't need to cram it. You could just always come here, come to your stamp, and if I pick like a minor 7th and just put it here, you can see the same chord is playing. Yeah, very, very straightforward. So we've created a very, very simple chord progression. Yeah, so, very, very simple. So next, we're going to create another section of melody because, playing these all three is just going to sound boring. So we're going to load in another instance of sky keys, and we're going to call this melody 2. So let's add sky keys and let's create another pattern and call this melody 2. I know that you can give it a color. Then we're going to put it underneath what we've created earlier. And I'm just going to copy the same chord progression because it's, the same thing we are building around it. So copy this, come over here, right click, copy, go back to our pattern. So you can either come here, go back to that pattern, or you could just click on it here. And we're on that pattern. I come to this and just paste it. But for this now, I'm going to be changing, the sound. So let's pick a different sound. And what I want to do with this is select everything. I'm just going to shift it. So let's put it there and let's see what it sounds like. Let's go to our song mode. So sounding nice, but what I want to do, I want to flip it around. So what I'm going to do is press Alt S, I think. Yeah, so we have like a strum, but I want to invert, the strum because this way it sounds now. Yeah, so let's see if you can play around with. Yeah, nice. So I like the way it sounds. So you can see how we just created something nice and just put that down. Nice. So we've just created, from just having a basic drum, we've added some melodies and this is sounding nice. So you could continue to stack up, various instances of melodies, and always remember to save your work. Never miss that. Always save your work. So yeah, so we have this. So yeah, I what I'm feeling now is that I can still add another layer of chord progression, and I'm thinking of adding something like a pad that's just going to be playing all through underneath. So I'm going to be loading another instrument which is called Analog Lab 5. Some of these instruments you might not have it, but it's good to actually just invest in getting some nice instruments. It's actually gonna do you a lot of good. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this nice preset called City of the Lost, and I'm just gonna paste what I've copied. Just right click and paste this, and this is what it sounds like. Yeah, so together. So you can see this is nice. So I can decide to increase, Control A to select everything and increase it, increase the length. Yeah, so nice sounding. And you could also add some more percussions if you want to. So I'm feeling like adding a drum fill. All I just need to do is go over to my plugin picker, so I can add this and just drag it. Let's play it. So if you listen to this drum fill now, it's not on time. So this is one way you can fix your samples that are not matching on the tempo you're working with. So if I listen to this hit here, this hit over here is supposed to be on this line normally, because it's like the end of the roll, so it needs to end on that line. So all I can do is click on it, come over to your mode. I'm going to stretch it and just adjust this time till this is on, on this line. So just bring it down. Yeah, so fixed. So if I play it now with my metronome turned on, we're going to have something like this. Yeah, nice. So you can see that, the drum fill is now on time. So that's one way you can just fix, your drum samples. If you don't know the tempo, it's on. So I'm going to just cut out this part. And so together with the whole vibe, we have this. Yeah, so we've created some nice melodies. The next thing I'm going to be adding is a bass. Once a bass comes in, it just gives it that solid low end. So I'm going to be adding, a bass to this vibe just to give it, that low end. And for the bass that I'm going to be using Omnisphere. These are big plugins that you might not have at this track, at, the start of, learning how to make beat, but it's good to, try to get this instrument or these plugins. So for my bass, I'm going to come over to the synth bass, the clip sign bass, and I'm just going to come over to settings and just bring down the gain, because, this bass is always, heavy. So I'm just going to bring down the gain a little bit, create another pattern, and we'll call this pattern a bass or a bass, give it some nice colors, and let's put it underneath it. And this time around, we're not going to be copying, the chord progression. Because for your bass, you just want to play a single note, because creating chord with your bass is actually going to sound really muddy. Not that it's bad to create chords. There's some bass that you can actually just create nice chords with them. But in this case, I'm just going to be using a single note for my bass. And if you go back to our chord progression, I said we are playing a 4, and a 3. So for my bass, that's just the 2 notes I'm going to be playing on my bass. So I'm going to go to the bass, the piano roll, make sure that the bass is selected, and go over to our piano roll. And we're just going to move from the 4 here to the 3. So I'm just going to put that down, and let's play it. So you can see it. We could actually play more with our bass, but I'm just keeping it simple, because it's just the start. Later on in this course, I'm going to be playing around more with the bass, but I'm just going to be keeping the bass simple, just playing some simple notes. So, it doesn't confuse you guys. So I'm not going to hit that play again, but I'm going to bring down the volume more. Yeah. So I still feel like I can add more, more instruments to what my, the chord is playing. So I'm going to load on that instance of SKY keys. Yeah, so you can see we just created a melody, just to keep things really, really interesting. So today we've been able to look at, creating chord progressions, creating other melodies to support the major chord progressions, creating a bass, adding a drum fill, and, creating some nice counter melodies. And I hope you got something from this video. If you're here to watch the 2 other episodes I dropped, I'm going to leave a link where you could just go watch it and refresh, your memory. So we're actually learning how to make Afro from scratch. So in case you have no idea, just try following, this episode, and by the end of, this whole episode, you're definitely gonna have what it takes to create your first hard-hitting Afro beat. So if you're here to subscribe, kindly hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification, so you definitely get notified when, the new episode drop. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you're here to join the WhatsApp channel, the link is gonna be in the description. Join the WhatsApp channel so you get access to updates and some little giveaways. The link is gonna be, in the description of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.